Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the ultimate guide to being a pro aesthetic builder. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If all of these tips are helpful to you, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let's just get started with the video. So first things first, I'm going to show you guys just some standard exterior building tips. I'm just going to show you the very common mistake that I see a lot of people making in Bloxburg. They'll build their houses with like little to no shape. So they tend to do things like this, block, and they'll just add like this one bit for the door. Please don't do that. Please don't be this person. If you're just getting into building and you're new to the game, it's fine. But once you've been playing the game for, I would say, like 6 months to a year, you should not still be at this stage. It's fine if you are, because we're going to fix that today. Not that this is like a bad way of building. If this is your preferred way to build, it's totally fine. I'm not going to judge you for it, but I also am going to judge you for it. So let me just finish off building this and I'll show you like an example of what not to do. Please don't do this. If your house does look similar to this, it's totally fine, but I'm going to show you what you can do now to help like adapt it and make it a bit better. If you don't really have a lot of money in Bloxburg, it's going to be difficult to build something with loads of detail and things like that. So I'm also going to try and do this in a way that it's not going to completely just blow your bank, but I'm just going to show you how to fix this sort of house if your house is currently looking like this. So my first step would be add some detail with wall trims. You see how it just makes the house look better straight away? It just adds a bit more dimension. I'm going to show you what it shouldn't look like and then we'll fix it. So I see way too many people doing this and I just feel like you can use white pillars. Nothing against it, but it's just, it does get a little bit basic and repetitive and overused and a bit boring. So as you can see with what I've done over here, you can either use white but change the texture to something a bit more interesting. So here I've used white concrete. I'm also going to show something else which I don't see enough people doing that I think makes your houses look 10 billion times better. So here is the before, here's the after. So this is what I've done after just changing the shape a little bit, swapping out the windows and just adding in some wall trims. Just do some really quick, actually quite cheap changes to make your builds just look 10 times better. So it only costed about 10 to 20k and it really does not take a lot of work for your house to just look a little bit better on the outside. You literally just have to place a bunch of random bushes, as I'm doing now, and trees as well. Make sure that you add a bunch of different trees, by the way. When I just see like only these trees, I hate it. You need to make it try and look as natural as possible, and the only way to do that is by adding a bunch of different types of trees and rocks and bushes all around. Smaller plants on the ground too, with short grass pieces around. Oh my gosh, why did I place that one there? A couple more rocks and things, and you can already see the difference. It's crazy. Get your house to just look a bit more normal instead of just like a block of linen and white. I understand that this may not be everyone's style, which is completely fine. You might not really like realistic houses, you might love realistic houses. It's all just really to taste. This is the finished product of me just adding some trees around. I haven't changed the color of the trees, but make sure one thing is that like if you've got one tree that's this color, have another tree that's like, you know, have them varying in color like this. Don't just have all of them one color. I don't really like when I see people only having like this color of tree. It doesn't really look that natural. And also change the wood color as well, and don't only have linen, please. In order to actually build aesthetically and also properly, is you sometimes just have to stay away from doing this linen and the brightest color of tree. You do need to play around with different textures and different colors if you really want to improve your building. And trust me, I did have that phase. As soon as I stopped, then that's when my building actually improved. My number one tip for exterior specifically is just try different textures and different colors and see what you can come up with. It's all really about experimenting. Just go out of your comfort zone a bit. But I just want to let you guys know, just as a disclaimer, obviously you can do what you want. This isn't like me telling you that you're a bad builder if you do build in a certain way. It's just, if you want the help, I'm giving you the help. Just so you know, because I don't want some people to be upset about that. So anyway, let's move on to interior tips. So I've actually kind of got subheadings for the interior tips because interior actually takes a bit more skill and it's got like a lot of subcategories to it. So I've actually done a couple of what do you call it? Subheadings. Oh, okay, so the first subheading is structure. You'll understand what I mean once I actually get into it. Okay, so imagine this is the bottom floor of your house. You just end up building rooms like this. No, bathroom here, kitchen there, living room, and then just like a weird open hallway space. And it's like, please, no, ew. I understand that like sometimes houses, you know, like if you've got a bunch of bedrooms next to each other, fine, you can like block them off. But a lot of the time, houses aren't always built like that, and sometimes it can get a bit like repetitive if you just build your houses in the same way. I feel like you may need to start experimenting with open plan houses, and if you don't know what open plan is, I'll show a good example in a minute. Or I'll just put the definition on the screen. This is what open plan means if you don't know. This is how you would section off your living room. Like this, not with a full wall like that, connecting it together and blocking it off. You want to do it like this. You would see, like, if you're walking in here, you're not just like walking through all these doors, you have all of this like open plan spacing. And there's actually multiple ways that you could do this open plan idea. You use a door frame like this, and you just, oh, never mind, not that one, sorry, a window opening thing, and you scale it up like that, and this just adds a bit more of like an interesting open plan structure because you've got all these like archways, and like you'd enter the living room through this archway and the kitchen through these two. If you want it like a little bit more sectioned off, I would recommend that instead of, if you don't really like just having blank walls in between, you can do archways. This is my apartment that I've built that I will be living in my Bloxburg town series. So I can't really show you the rest of the town, but I will show you the apartment just because I feel like it's a really good open plan example. And as you can see, look, we've got the wall thing, as I showed an example of, like small blockages, like not blocks. Oh my god, where's my English? I can't speak. Right, you can see how this is open plan because there's nothing that's blocking off the kitchen to the living room. You just walk straight through. We've got the living room in here, but then even the bedroom isn't blocked off because you can just walk straight through here. You've gone to the bedroom. Very, very nice. The only thing that is blocked off, which is the bathroom, but it's not finished yet. But yeah, you can see how this is open plan. I mean, I understand that it's an apartment, so it's slightly different to a house, but you can use this as the bottom floor of the house if you had the kitchen here, living room here, another seating area or an office. I'm going to be doing this Bloxburg town series where I'm going to be like role-playing living in, oh my gosh, I just hit my mic, or I'm going to be role-playing living in a city. I might need to use some of you guys, well, I will need to use some of you guys in this series. So if you guys join my Discord server, I'll put the link on the screen and I'll also link it in the description. You will have the opportunity to be a part of my series. All you need to do is literally just join my Discord server. I will be discussing it on there. Make sure that you join my Discord server because otherwise you will not get any announcements. So we're going to now be moving on to my next interior building tip, which is texturing and clutter. So I'm going to show you some texturing and clutter examples, especially since Bloxburg has updated recently. So now you've got like all these new pillows and things that you can add. I'm going to show you what I would do in a living room situation. So let's just choose our sofa. Let's say we pick this one. Examples. I'll literally show you how to make this sofa not look as cheap. This is like the cheapest mid-range sort of sofa, and then I'm also going to show you, I feel like that's a good example because they're all quite similar sofas but just progressively getting bigger each time and slightly more expensive. I'm going to start with the cheapest one because I feel like some people, obviously, especially if you're new to Bloxburg, you're not really going to have like a high working level. In that case, you're not really going to have much money to spend. So I'll show you how to budget. This is just, I'm just going to show like a clutter example on the sofas, but I guess you can kind of implement this into any other thing that you do. Cheapest sofa is this comfy pillow. Adding another 2 pillows. Let me just color it. So what can we pick? So we'll do this. So I changed the texture to this cozy fabric. So we'll add these pillows. We'll make them pink just for a little fun extra touch. The other cheapest pillow, which is a round one, which I feel like we need to just add a bit more. This basic rectangular pillow. And then we can just add this pillow in the middle. I know that these ones are slightly more expensive, but you can budget. You can save up to buy them, or you can budget. Get it? It is only 147, so you would be able to eventually afford it. And then just this cheap blanket, which is actually my favorite blanket. Really, really cheap, cheapest sofa, and you've made it look actually quite expensive and nice. Like I would honestly pick that sofa. That looks really cute. I love that. Then on a more mid-range option, I'll just use like the same colors or like similar. This time you can use slightly more expensive pillows. So for example, like instead of using the cheaper pillows, you can use these like these ones with trimming on them, the trimmed square pillows. So they have a slightly more mid-range option. It just is like the slightly more elevated version of that. And now we'll move on to the expensive one. And there's like a slightly more expensive option. They're all pretty similar, but I did that on purpose just so you can show that you can just add like little bits of extra detail in order to make something look a bit more expensive. To be honest, this one is actually my favourite, this mid-range option. But I actually really do like this one. To be honest, I kind of prefer these 2 cheaper ones to the really expensive one. But this is just proof that you do not need to have a lot of money in order for your Bloxburg houses to look really good. So yeah, this is just like a nice cluttering technique that I like to use now that the new pillow and like blanket update is out. The next video is going to go fully into detail of how you can start to improve your builds, and then the third video is going to be like the finishing touches of everything. So that's enough talking. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure, as I said in the beginning of the video, make sure to subscribe, because we're only 500 subscribers away from 10,000, which thank you guys so much for all of your support on my videos and just on my channel in general. What was the last thing I was going to say? I think that was it. Well, as I said in the beginning of the video, make sure to join my Discord server if you want the chance to be in a video, because I will be discussing like subscriber videos and stuff on there. So the link is on the screen right now. It's also in the description, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.